Thank you, Brother Tim. Good morning and welcome to Arlington Community Church. And welcome back, Professor Wang from China. Good to see you. Welcome to all of you. Jen is not here with us this morning. She is in New Mexico visiting with Richard Rohr, one of my favorite people in the world, who's the director of the Center for Action and Contemplation. She's at a 4-day conference that is revisioning the church. And I'm excited to have her come back. I'm this close to jealousy about her being there, and I'm here. I do love you, though. There are in front of you prayer cards, and I invite you to write something for which you might have a prayer for our community prayer time. If you don't want to share it publicly, then you can put it in the offering plate, but during the hymn before prayers, I'll collect those cards from each of you. As I mentioned to my friend Maxim this morning at breakfast, that we have a saying that we do in the United Church of Christ every Sunday that says, whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, whether you're straight or gay, black, white, brown, beige, pumpkin, whether you're short or tall, whether you're conservative or liberal, or like me, not really sure what you believe half the time, you're welcome in this place. I invite you to stand and join us in the gathering words.
Rekindle the gift of God that is within you.
For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline.
We gather together in praise to God, who answers prayer.
When injustice overwhelms us, God forgives us for our mistakes.
God of wholeness, you are the hope of all the ends of the earth and of the farthest seas.
You silence the roaring of the waves and the unrest of the people.
All over the earth you bring forth awe and wonder.
You make the gateways of the morning and evening shout for joy.
You visit the earth and water it. You provide enough food for all.
You bring abundance and growth.
The pastures of the wilderness overflow. The hills gird themselves with joy.
They shout and sing together for joy.
Amen. Now, please remain standing while we begin our opening hymn.
Bye.
us in and hold us forever. Gather us in and make us your own. Gather us in, all peoples together. Fire of love in our flesh and our bone.
So we'll take a moment to share the peace of Christ and share the peace of love with one another. And before we do that, I invite you to turn to the camera up here and wave to those who are joining us online. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our worship this morning. And now greet each other in a way that's comfortable for you. Okay. Love one another and find your seat.
Oh, yeah. So Susan.
It was tempting to let you just keep greeting each other for the next half hour. We're hungry for that, aren't we? In fact, it calls me to just remind each of you a phrase that Maxim and I shared at breakfast this morning, that each one of us, we all belong. You belong, period. You belong here, but you belong. And because you belong, you matter. So we're glad to have you here. For a time of gratitude, I want to invite you to do two things. The first is to, just as you sit here, call to mind one person in your life, past, present, for whom you are grateful, just one person, and hold that person's name and their face in your mind. They could be dead by now or alive still, but just hold them for a moment in gratitude. If that person has a first name, name it out loud. What was that name? Okay. Mine was Mom. The second thing I invite you to do is to think of an experience you've had, again, sometime in your life, for which you are grateful. And let's hold that just in your heart for a moment. All right. I invite you to remain in a state of gratitude, not just for the rest of this service, but for the rest of this day, and of course for the rest of your lives, our lives. All right, Autumn, come here. Would you mind sitting up here with me?
Yeah,
Can you?
I might need some help.
Give me your arms. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Great.
You good?
Yeah,
I see that you're wearing something kind of special. What is that?
it's my Halloween dress.
And what are you supposed to be? What are you?
A green witch.
A green witch. Now, tell me a little bit about green witches.
Well, green witches love turning people into frogs.
Okay. Are they nice witches?
Yes, they're very nice.
They're very nice. And how do you know that they're very nice? What do they do or say?
They say I like turning people into frogs.
So, if I were somebody that didn't like witches, would that be unfair?
Yes.
Because you really are a good witch, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I think you're a really, really good witch,
Thank you.
okay? Now, you come and join us all the time in this group of people. Do you like coming here?
Uh-huh, I love it here.
Why?
Because I like it here because I like the pianos here.
They're pretty nice people, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Shall we turn to them and wave? Do you know what we feel about you?
No.
I'm just going to guess that we think she belongs with us here, don't you think? Raise your hand if you think so. So I'm here to just say, on behalf of everybody here, you're one of our family. We like having you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you get to keep that witch's outfit on for many days. And will you go trick-or-treating?
Yes.
I think I'm going to go trick-or-treating this week. Oh, what? You never seen a big guy do trick-or-treating?
No. But my dad's gonna do it.
You're not see?
My dad's gonna be Kristoff.
Oh, so he's going to be in a costume, huh?
Yeah, he is. And me and Mommy have to wear Greg. And also Daddy has to.
Oh, see? You're going to have lots of fun. And guess what? We're not going to be with you, but our hearts will be with you, okay?
I smell something.
What do you smell? The candle?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, let's look at the candle. Let's look at them,
I'm staring at it.
and then I'll help you down, and you can go have some time with your friend in the back. Ready? There you go. Bye, Autumn. Okay. Let's take a deep breath or two. Don't lose the joy that autumn brings us. So I don't want you to get into meditation as if it's a sad thing. I want you to take autumn and all children into your heart as we just relax and shift gears a little bit.
Breathe on me, breath of God, fill me with life anew, that I may love the way you love and do what you would do. Breathe on me, breath of God, till I am wholly thine, until my heart, my soul, my life glow with your fire divine.
So we have some prayers for those who are struggling with their health. Specifically, we call out Helen Winters, Chris and Dave, Ed and Lisa, Ken and Linda, and Joe. But we call out anybody in our congregation and in our community and in our world who are struggling with health. Prayers for all children, Autumn included. May ask for help for the universe to finish her garage haunted house. Oh, May ask for help from the universe to finish her garage haunted house by Friday. Okay. Where's May? Okay. Snag anybody you can. Prayers again for David and Chris Ryder. May they always remember they are loved by us and many others. And although they haven't been in this room physically for a long time, they know they belong here. Prayers also for Wendy Beckham, our yoga teacher, who's for healing and strength. Holy One, we live in a world that confuses us and bewilders us and worries us, even as it lifts us up at times and brings us joy. Hold us in our bewilderment. But as St. Francis reminded us, God, make us instruments of your peace. Make us instruments of your reconciliation, of your compassion, of your empathy, of your care, of your love, of your patience. Give us eyes to see beyond ourself, beyond those we see just every day, beyond the borders of our communities and our nations. Help us to see your creation in the way that honors everyone and everything. May we be good stewards of the lives that you have given us. May we be good stewards of this creation, this earth, this universe, this cosmos with which you have gifted us. Be patient with us continue to love us and teach us forgiveness, not only of ourselves, but of others. We ask these things in all our prayers in the name of the one who taught us to pray, our Creator, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your realm be done, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the realm, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Breathe on me, breath of God. Fill me with life anew, that I may love the way you love and do what you would do.
The morning scripture comes from the book of Luke, verses 9 to 14 of chapter 18. Jesus told us this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and regarded others with contempt. 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, was praying thus: God, I thank you that I am not like the other people, thieves, rogues, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give 1/10 of all my income. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but was beating his breast and saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his home justified rather than the other. For all who exalt themselves will be humbled, but all who humble themselves will be exalted.
Thank you, choir. You are angels. As we prepare for this morning's presentation by Dick and Maxim, we offer you this prayer of reconciliation. Where there is separation, there is pain. And where there is pain, there is story. And where there is story, there is understanding and misunderstanding, listening and not listening. May we, separated peoples, estranged strangers, unfriended families, divided communities, turn toward each other and turn toward our stories with understanding and listening, with argument and acceptance, with challenge, change, and consolation. Because if God is to be found, God will be found in the space between. I invite Maxim and Dick to come forward and take a stool. They are from an organization that they will introduce to you called Braver Angels. I've just met Dick in person this morning. I've known Maxim for years. No braver angel have I met than Maxim because he's courageous enough to be my friend. And I'll invite them to share a little bit about Braver Angels with us.
Thank you very much, Barry, for being my friend and tolerating me. It's mutual toleration. So I'd like to start the presentation off simply by describing the organization that we represent, Braver Angels, which was originally called Better Angels, a quote from Abe Lincoln. We had to change the name because of patent or copyright reasons. It was formed in 2016 after Trump's first election. And some people in Minneapolis, actually a social psychologist, decided that he wanted to address the schism in our country, the polarization that his election represented. So Braver Angels was founded there and has since developed, I guess, a virtual curriculum to help us listen to people whose truths and opinions are actually opposite ours. And we learn how to listen in a civil way. We learn how to share opposite opinions without polarizing ourselves. And because we listen to other people and their arguments, we become less polarized and less divisive. So I'd like to turn this over to Dick, who'll talk about more specifically what the organization does.
Yeah, thank you, Maxim, and thank you to all of you for having us here and inviting us today. I actually thought that the prayer that you just recited speaks so much about what Braver Angels really is. It's really about understanding and trying to bridge that gap. So I'm going to tell you some kind of the mechanical things about Braver Angels. So it's a national organization, but it's really a grassroots organization. It was founded with the purpose of strengthening our democracy through respectful conversations, which really is through listening and understanding. It's a small organization. It has maybe 5 or 6 paid people I think they're in New York. Small budget, tiny budget, relies on volunteers. The purpose of it, which is to bring people together, you can really think of Braver Angels as a platform that brings people together who want to discuss difficult political questions or social issues in an environment where, and we talk about the braver way, where they can speak freely, honestly, and without fear. And at the same time, we disagree. We understand that people are going to disagree. We want people to disagree with respect and dignity, and that's how we conduct our events. What Braver Angels really is about is local communities. And we have about, well, a little bit over 100 local alliances, and Maxim and I are from the San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland Local Alliance. There are about a dozen alliances in California. We're all volunteers. And what we do and what alliances around the country do are to sponsor events. And those events are where people come together, and it's either in person or online, and we discuss an issue. We can tell you, and maybe you'd like to talk more about what the local alliance does, but if you want to know more about Braver Angels, you can go on their website. It's braverangels.org. The national organization sponsors national debates. They put on classes in depolarization, where we try to bring people together in a workshop format, try to help them understand how they see things, how they view other people. And one of the goals of Braver Angels is, Maxime talked about polarization, but it's really the hatred which I think we all see. And our goal is to get us to view people not with hatred but with understanding. And that's what we're all about. And the way we try to get to understanding is to channel what is built into us for millions of years, which is when we're threatened by something, either physically or verbally, an idea, is to channel that fight or flight into curiosity. Because curiosity is what gets us to understanding. Once we can understand one another, maybe then we can find some common ground. And if we can find common ground, maybe we can find a solution. Braver Angels stops at the first part. We're just trying to get people to get together, talk, and understand one another. So Maxime, why don't you talk about what the local alliance does?
Well, first, Dick, I have to thank you for being so goddamn articulate, and I'm a Berkeley progressive, typical, and Dick isn't, and we still can talk to each other, and we actually complement each other, obviously. The National Alliance has set up debates and workshops with very, very specific structures to help people listen to each other, basically. And the Berkeley-Oakland Alliance, it started out as only Berkeley and Oakland about 5.5 years ago. We're kind of entitled Berkeley-educated people, and we decided we could do better than what the national organization does. So we have a committee, a small committee, that gets together once a week. We select a contentious issue, and we decide that'll be the issue that we'll have on a Zoom meeting for the month. And then we meet in order to figure out how to address the issue, how to entitle it, because the Braver Angels organization in general is challenged to find conservatives to join it. Most of the members are blue, progressive or liberal, however you'd call it. And so in spite of the fact that we're here in a blue bubble in the Bay Area, our alliance manages to attract people, because it's on Zoom, from all over the country, and we skew the issues and the questions we ask to make Reds, conservative people, less uncomfortable, because often they feel excluded from these kinds of meetings and actually put down because of whatever we liberals think. We don't want, and so we try to make Reds feel comfortable, and it's worked so far. And because it's a Zoom meeting, we can get people from Texas and Iowa who have opposite opinions to join, and we have livelier conversations. So that's our methodology. What am I missing, Dick?
No, I don't think you're missing anything very much. I want to point out that it's free. That is, anybody can join these events. All you have to do is go onto our website. There's a national website, shows the events, but there's also a San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland website. If you just type in Braver Angels Berkeley, it'll come right up with a listing of our events. It's easy to sign up and register for them. It can be free, or if you want to donate, you can. Braver Angels itself has only about maybe 15,000 paying, and paying means $12 a year, dues. But we tend to get about 60 to 80,000 people a year participating in our events around the country. And that's really what we're hoping to do. You don't need to be a paid member. We'd love anybody to join us who wants to have a good discussion about a particular social issue. So that's the only thing I would add on top of what you just said.
So I get to add on your addition.
Okay.
We're having one of these Zoom meetings this afternoon. As a matter of fact, it starts at 4 o'clock. If you're interested in seeing what we do and participating, it lasts an hour and a half to 2 hours. Today's subject is going to be the Charlie Kirk assassination and what it implies for our country. And as a matter of fact, it's created radical schisms even within our own organization between people who thought it was a horrible thing, the assassination, and others who didn't feel so upset about it because of some of the things he said. So this is going to be a fascinating discussion with trying to decrease the polarity that exists right now. So if you're interested in coming to that Zoom meeting, just leave us with your email address. I can send you an invite. You can come in at 4 o'clock if you have nothing else to do.
And I'll just add another plug to that, which is the Berkeley Oakland Alliance is probably, I think it's just about the only alliance nationally that has all of its events on Zoom, and we attract people from all over the country. We generally get anywhere from 50 to 80 people at our events. As I said, they're all online, but it's really great to have people from every part of the country on the calls. You really do hear a lot of different ideas.
So Dick, if you would, can you tell us what Braver Angels means to you, and then I'd like to finish up with my own personal story.
Yeah, so I joined Braver Angels a couple of years ago because I like to talk about political and social issues. I think it's fascinating. It was actually Maxim who told me about this group he belonged to, and I said, gee, I've never heard of that. So I tried it out, and I liked it, and I stayed because not only do I like talking about social issues and political issues, but I think as part of a democracy, we have untold freedom here that man has just never had before. The freedom is not normal in human history. And we have something here and in the Western countries which has just never been experienced before. And I believe that it's incumbent upon me to be a part of that, to be actively engaged in our political and social issues, to understand them, to be able to do simple things like vote on an issue, to understand it. It takes a big investment, and that's really why I say. The other reason is to learn. And what I find is when you get a bunch of people together, we all know a little bit about something, and we take our pooled language, and I learned something at every one of our meetings, something that I just didn't know. You know, I think I have read a lot and know a lot, but it's amazing what you can learn from somebody else who also has read a lot, but different things, and they have a different perspective, and they have different facts, and you can come together and try to figure out, gee, what are all these different facts? How do we reconcile them? So that's why I stay. I think it's to me it's an obligation. It's just part of being, it's my obligation and responsibility that I think comes along with being and having such great freedoms in this country.
Thank you, Dick. That sounds terrific. Doesn't it sound terrific? So about me, thank you, Barry, for welcoming everybody into this church and congregation, even an atheist, right?
2 atheists.
A couple now. Oh my gosh. I hope we don't, I don't know, infect everybody, or I hope we do. I was born into a fundamentalist atheist family. I'm Jewish, and I wasn't allowed to go to my friends' bar mitzvahs because any religious institution was verboten. And as I grew up, I realized I had to be able to talk to people who believed in God. To my parents, this was unimaginable. People who believed were superstitious and ignorant, etc., and needy. And then as I grew up and got away from Los Angeles, I ended up making friends with many, many religious people, and my life expanded because the terminology of religion is broader than the terminology of Marxism. And so all of a sudden there were concepts that I could apply to myself, which were very meaningful. And so step number one was talk to anybody who believed in God. I ended up going to Africa with Methodists from Epworth Church down the block. I actually joined a synagogue. My parents are spinning in their graves, and that's enriched my life as well. Step two was talk to anybody who voted for Trump. We in the Bay Area, and I dare say even the founders of Braver Angels, had more than curiosity, but it was like, how could anybody possibly vote for that man? And in the 5 years that I've spent with Braver Angels, my life has expanded to the point where people who are actually more articulate and smarter than I am, who voted for Trump, have gotten me to at least loosen my beliefs. So about 5.5 years ago, I was part of another group that was actually originated in the Bay Area, in Berkeley, called Living Room Conversations. I decided to further that kind, and I was also a mediator, but I decided to further that kind of work, heard about Braver Angels, got a list of people together who were in the Bay Area, and I decided to organize a Berkeley Alliance. It quickly became a Berkeley-Oakland Alliance. We met originally with 20 people. COVID came along. We had to meet by Zoom, but because I had friends and acquaintances in Texas, forbidden places across the hills, you know, on the other side of the Berkeley Hills. They were conservative, and they came to our meetings, and we grew and grew and grew, and we become a relatively successful alliance. So I have to say that, how do I say this? And I was talking with Barry about this. My boundaries have been shattered by talking with people whose realities are opposite mine, that I have to accept. And having those boundaries disappear, melt, is both very, very uncomfortable and, for me, critical. I'm reaching the stage in my life where I'm trying to figure out what it's all about and what may happen next. And what happens next might be, for me, to be able to let go of a sense of self, that my reality is the only reality. Barry and I were talking about this morning. Can be positive and enhancing. And so it's beginning to happen to me because my sense of self and my sense that my ideas are the only ideas, that my lens is the only lens, that the film I'm showing myself as I go through life is the only movie that can happen, is actually, you know, a little narrow, and to be able to expand beyond that is my current spiritual quest personally. And I'll even go as far to say, Barry, when you were mentioning, you used the word creation and creativity, and so I dare say that for me, God, the constant creativity that is happening as we live, the constant change, I dare to be able to label as God, or as one idea of God. And so this atheist can actually use the word, thanks to people like you. And so my life is expanding, and I invite you all to try to do that kind of thing as well, to experience the pain and the joy that I experience by letting go of certain ideas and making my own life broader. So thank you very much for having us. Dick, your turn.
I think we're done. I think our time is up.
Our time is up. Our time is up.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you, Maxim. And I hope we'll remember to ask ourselves, how good of listeners are we? So, there you go. Thank you.
As we enjoy the fellowship of this community of faith and recognize the work of this church in our lives and in the world, we are inspired to serve and to give. May we continue to support the work of this church and the wider United Church of Christ with our ongoing pledges and our morning offering.
Justice, kindness,
To seek justice and love kindness and walk humbly with your God.
Please pray with me. Generous God, you provide for all with such abundance. In response to your generosity, we offer our time, talent, and treasure for the common good. Rekindle your gifts in us, giving us courage and patience, conviction and compassion, building community in a time of division. Amen. You may be seated. We have an announcement.
Speaking of praying for abundance, it's in my Asian pear tree. I have brought 20 Asian pears. They're almost as big as a grapefruit, and I'd love for people to take them. They're hard as a rock, and when you cut them, they spurt out juice. They're juicy and sweet and really delicious. Please take them. There's a bag in the social hall.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. I'm Dudley. Most of you know me, and I'm here as treasurer of the church. This week, our accountant, Melinda Morris, resigned as our bookkeeper accountant. So we're in the process of finding somebody to replace her. It may take a little while. During this interim, I'm going to be the bookkeeper. I am not a bookkeeper. I don't plan to be the bookkeeper, but I will keep track of everything. And also, what's really this is about is if you have invoices or reimbursements, please send them to me directly. We had been using her email address, which isn't effective anymore. So please, my email's everywhere. It's me, Dudley T at Gmail. Anyway, please send me stuff during the interim. If you have questions, let me know. Thank you.
And before I invite you to the workshop, let me just say to Maxim and Dick, atheist schmatheist, it's you belong. If you ever want a community where you can feel like you matter and that you belong, you're always welcome here. Okay, there's no litmus test at the door. And having said that, today, right after worship service, we have our social time in the social hall where there's coffee and goodies. But right about that time, grab your coffee and your goodie, and I invite you to take a seat at one of the round tables, and Dick and Maxime will not only, instead of telling us about Braver Angels, we'll have a short demonstration so we can experience what it's like to be at a Braver Angels group meeting. Also, next Sunday is All Saints Sunday, and also the Sunday where we will be blessing our pledges. If you have, for All Saints Day, if you have a picture of somebody you'd like us to hold and lift up, then bring it next week. Come a minute or so early, and we'll put it on the altar, all the people, all the saints that we would like to remember next week. And then you hold off on putting your pledges. You could bring your pledges next week if you haven't already sent them in, and we'll have those pledges blessed. I don't have it with me. I should have worn it today, but the ACC t-shirts, how many of you have seen the ACC t-shirts? Okay, so some of us have been wearing them. I bought two because I like t-shirts. So if there's still a few left, if you want an ACC t-shirt, then you can talk to Pastor Jen, and if you want to know what the back of it says, it's what does the Lord require of you is to do kindness, justice, kindness, and walk humbly with God. So that's what the back of the shirt says. Thank you. Okay, let us now close our worship service by singing our closing hymn.
Accept each other as Christ accepted us. Teach us as sister, brother, each person to embrace. Be present, Lord, among us, and bring us to believe. We are ourselves accepted and meant to love and live. Teach us, O Lord, your lessons as in our daily life we struggle to be human and search for hope and faith. Teach us for some to love them as we find them, or as they may become. Let your acceptance change us so that we may be moved in living situations to do the truth in love, to practice your acceptance until we know by heart the table of forgiveness and laughter's healing heart. Lord, for today's encounters with all who are in need, who hunger for acceptance, for righteousness and bread, we need new eyes for seeing, new hands for holding on. Renew us with your Spirit, Lord, free us, make us one.
We are all invited to be braver angels, to take the patience, the time, the energy, the willingness, the love, the compassion, the empathy, to care about somebody who may not think and believe like we do, but they are God's children. They are the children of creation, and they, like us, belong. Let us continue that belonging into our daily lives. Amen. You may be seated.